Hello and welcome back to another episode of my RIMS racing career, and today, as we always do, I'm just going to be doing the next 3 events in the career mode. But before we do get into that, I accidentally found something off camera, another use for the team points I didn't realise was there. So if we go to bikes and we go to engineering, we can hire an engineer, which is actually a lot, 6,000 credits, so maybe for now I'll hold off on that while we only have 36,000. And basically, I can reduce the wear on the components by hiring an engineer and spending the team points. So that's definitely going to be something to look at. Obviously, for now, I've not actually changed any parts, but it might be worth looking at. So I don't want to change bike if we go on the workshop. Might need to have a look around and see if there is any worn components that need changing. I mean, look at the bike. It's pretty destroyed from the amount of times it's been down the road. Yeah, there's a lot of red components. Damn. So pretty much everything needs changing except the brake fluid and the reservoir it's in. The pads are critical by the looks of it because they've got a notification next to them, and the exhaust, that's yellow, fairings red, the front fender, which is obviously the mudguard, is broken as well, it's red, the suspension's red, the rim on the rear is red as well apparently, so potentially I should probably go through and change some of these just to make sure that they're not too damaged. So I think that's probably what I'll do now. I'll probably go through and maybe buy some new components and make sure the bike is sort of back up to fully working order. So that took quite a while to do actually. I don't know how long, but I bet it took about 10 minutes to do the entire thing. So I went through and replaced all the red parts, the yellow parts are left, and obviously the green ones as well, they're absolutely fine. So I went through and replaced it, so the bike is looking a little bit better now, as you can see. And it is fun to do all the actions to sort of disassemble it and put it back together, but when you are doing a lot of the bike, it does get a little bit tedious after a while, but I think that's probably why one of the upgrades that you can get on the engineering is actually to not have to interact with those parts anymore. But it's still fun, it's still like a nice little thing, but I imagine once you start doing it a bit more and putting upgrades on it, will probably get a bit annoying. But here we are then, the first race. Well, I've not got to worry actually about the wear of my bike because it's the Aprilia we're using, so it's another Academy event. It is in the rain this time, so we've got to crash a maximum of 2 times, so that's going to be difficult for me. Cross the finish line in at least third and set a time of less than 8 minutes 28, so only 3 laps, so that's not too bad, and this time I've learnt my lesson. I'm not going out on intermediates, even if the game tries to make me do that. So here we are in the pit lane then. Let's go straight to tuning, straight to tyres, make sure we've got the Pirelli rain tyres on, not the intermediates that it tried to give me before. And let's get this race started. I guess I'll probably start 10th place, that's usually how these things go. But it's going to be difficult to not crash even twice, especially since I'm still learning this track, and it's the second time I've done it and it's in the rain again. So I imagine we'll probably be plagued by some of the same issues that we had in the previous episode. But let's see how it goes. Hopefully we can try and actually get all 3 objectives, because I think this would be the first time we'd got all 3 objectives on an Academy event. So I'm actually 5th place, so that's not too bad. But we've got to be careful off the line then. Oh, it's done the thing with the controls again. Of course it has. Don't know why it seems to do this every time, but this time I've actually caught it. As I tried to go up the gears, go across the custom setup. There we go. It's still not doing it, actually. Hang on, that's weird. Yeah, the game seems to have glitched. It's not letting me use my custom controls. That's not great. So this time I've restarted my game and it seems to be working again now, so that's good. But lights are on, lights out, and away we go. Well, I thought we had a decent start initially, but some of those bikes came flying past. I think it was actually the MVs, though, that were doing that. And, oh, the bike was still skipping on the way in there. We've been taken out, so one of our 2 falls has gone already because of an AI taking me out on an R1 there. Got the inside of that AI now, so back past them. But I can tell already this feels a lot better than when we were here previously because the tyres just are gripping so much better. Like, I had to brake so much earlier than that for turn 1 previously, and I still wasn't making the corner, so that does definitely confirm to me now that the tyre choice the game put me on previously was wrong, and I guess it would have tried to do the same thing again here, so good job I picked the right tyres. But we've just been overtaken by an AI. I know I made a mistake, but that's interesting. I've got to try and get my act together a little bit though, because we've not actually got many laps this time. Usually you get about 5 laps or 7 laps in these races, but we've only got 3, and after a crash we've already lost a fair amount of time. We've been dive bombed though. Oh, one AI, actually a few AI are down. Oh, they're all down. What is going on here? Well, I'm back up to 6th place, so they're not all down, but a lot of them have just gone down there. That right-hander, we've had contact again. This is the problem, they just break through some of the corners. which makes it really dangerous. Had contact with this guy here on the Honda, looking at the inside of him. I've lost the rear. Somehow he turned out the corner, so that was fortunate for me, because I think we would have collided. It probably would have been me on the floor. So we're back up to 4th place. Hopefully we can get 3rd place with this guy here, because he's going a bit slow. Can we do it into this right-hander? This will be risky. We've done it, though, just about. It's up to 3rd place, so the win is still possible from this point, that's for sure. But yeah, the bike feels so much better. Oh, I've just crashed on the curb though, so again, starts praising the handling of the bike and ends up on the ground. That's my two crashes gone there, so if I crash once more, that's all the objectives. Well, that's that objective gone. And oh, what is this guy doing? That's well, I've just crashed now. So the AI again causing me to crash because I had to pick up because AI stopped on the exit of the corner and I ended up running wide because of it onto the curb and crashed. Oh, this is getting a bit frustrating. They seem to be worse for it in the wet. Like, it's bad enough in the dry they go slow through some of the corners, but in the rain they seem to completely stop on the exit of some of the corners. And the AI are crashing a lot as well, and I'm not surprised. I guess if they're brake checking each other too, that's really causing some crashes. But hopefully I can try and pick off a few. I've already failed obviously the first objective now, and again they're braking coming out of the corners. What are they doing? Right, I'm going to absolutely send it on this guy. Actually, it's Abigail, so this girl around the outside. Oh, there we go. So up into 8th place. And someone's going slow again. I've got to watch out that they absolutely barrel it into this next right-hander. So if they outbrake me, it's not me doing anything wrong. It's just they absolutely come thundering in and they seem to crash. Oh, I've been forced wide by him as well. That guy's crashed in the middle of the track. Oh, and the rider behind got collected. So back up into 6th place, which was the position we were in at this point on the previous lap. But I still think I'm in a better... I think I was in a better position on the last lap because everybody was really close in front, whereas there's still gaps here, and there's not much time to make up for it. It's actually annoying because I've crashed 3 times. Actually, 4 times now, isn't it? No, I think it might just be 3. And really... none of them have been my fault particularly, so I'm getting happy that I'm getting to grips with the game and I'm not making so many silly mistakes. But the AI are starting to get on my nerves a bit now by brake checking me and forcing me to pick up and go on the curbs and on the floor, so yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. But we're up to 5th place now then. And I keep thinking that that's the finish line. Well, that is the finish line. So it seems in this game that every time there's a start line, that's also the finish line, which I guess, yeah. It makes sense. I've gone in too hot this time, though. Come on, come on, come on. I've got to pick up. There's nothing I could do there. Once I've gone in too hot, I could not make that turning circle. So, alright, my first mistake of the race, I'll take that. Or maybe I clipped a curb once before, but we only dropped down to 6th place, so we only lost 1 place for it, but... yeah, I can't see myself getting too much higher up the order now. Just got to hope that some of the AI crash at that right-hander again. Someone's just rejoined right in front of me. So that puts me back up to 5th. Maybe we can get 4th off this guy, but I can't see myself getting any higher than that. Although I can't even see myself getting that. No! I thought I was just going to keep it on the track, but I just ran it in the gravel. Oh, that's annoying. Come on, come on, get going. Oh, we've blocked one AI there. Fortunately, they didn't take me out because I was ghosted. This has not been a good academy event for me. So it seems like Nürburgring in the rain doesn't tend to go too well, but really it was down to the AI that set me off course. I've had to push too hard and made more mistakes. So where have I ended up then? I'm up to 6th again now. I guess that's where we're going to finish. So every time we come to Nürburgring, so far it's been a disaster, and so far it's been wet as well. But hopefully next time it'll be a bit better. And oh, come on, are you serious? Well, I'm going to end up in 8th place then instead, not even 6th. Not that it makes much difference to me. But the rear, yeah, the rear locks up way too much. So nice. Oh, we might get 7th actually out this last quarter. No, no. Oh, of course. Yeah, so actually going to end up last. Yep. Again, the AI going slow and you have to go around them and you end up on the curb and on the floor. Yeah, that race has actually really annoyed me. Yeah. Mainly down to the fact it was the AI screwing me over the whole way through, and then before that my controls were broken, so yeah. So we've still got 1,000 credits and 1 team point, but that's definitely the worst we've done so far. Only 1,000 XP as well. We don't really deserve anything for finishing last, because we didn't actually achieve any of the objectives. Oh, unless actually I might have done the less than 8 minutes total time. I'm not sure actually. Yeah, I did. That's how I got one then. But if I thought I crashed on the last one, well, here we go. It's a road course and it's in the rain. Oh dear, this is going to go badly. So then, at the $1 Million Highway, if it wasn't dangerous enough to do some road racing, it's actually wet weather as well. So I have no idea which way this track's going to go. In terms of road courses, I really struggle anyway. Although this one does seem a little bit wider than a lot of the other ones have been, so perhaps it's not the end of the world. I guess we'll see in a minute. I'm on the rain tyres. That's a tyre that I'm happy to use, so we'll stick with that. So let's get started, but I'm not expecting much. I think this is probably going to be another loss. So this episode overall, probably not going to be too good for me. There we go, lights are on, waiting for the lights to go out here. Lights out and away we go. The only saving grace I've got is that the AI is only on 65 still, although he's absolutely left me. What a start he had there. I can't even see him anymore, he's already gone. Oh no, he's still there, and oh, I've crashed! Come on, what was that? Was it because I touched the yellow line? And if it was, that's fair play, it's pretty realistic, because obviously the lines on the road are not grippy at all, but that seemed a little bit odd. Oh, what was that? Okay. That section was horrible. It was so tight and twisty. I ended up I think I went over the mounting rails about twice. Yeah, I don't really like road courses. And to be honest, this one was alright until that section. I didn't think it was too bad. It was just that we had that weird crash at the start. So here we go then, through the last corner, up towards the line. I tried to do a little wheelie there, but I can't seem to do one. So here we go then, second place. Actually not a bad little street track, but yeah, they're not really my cup of tea, and I really struggle with them. I really do. Still got 1,000 credits though, so it was better than nothing. And we got 500 XP, which took us up to Rider level 9, so yeah, actually not too bad. So here we are then for the final event of the episode, and again it seems to have come around quite fast, but I'm hoping for a decent one this time, because I'm quite unhappy with how it's gone previously, and again it's wet, so every single time so far it seems to be wet. I'll probably need to go get some more wet tyres now after they got destroyed at $1 Million Highway. But it's either Fuji Speedway, which I don't know, or Monsanto Circuit, which I don't know. So either way, I can't see it going very well for me. So I think this episode is going to be a bit of a bust. So here we are then at the Fuji Speedway. Now I actually don't know this track whatsoever. I've never played it on any game. So it could be quite interesting. I did indeed buy a new tyre, but only for the rear, because you can see the front one was actually pretty good. And even that front Metzler from a few episodes ago is in good condition. So the front tyre doesn't seem to be too worn. And honestly, the rear is not that bad either, actually. But I think it's probably better to go with this other tyre. The one that's not completely destroyed, not in the red. But potentially that red tyre maybe could still be used at a different event, but most likely I'll sell it. I just couldn't sell it because it was still on the bike. So where am I on the grid then? 8th place, so not the back of the grid. But probably need to actually learn the circuit. Actually, you know what? It might have been on Ride. Actually, it could be a different track, but I seem to recognise this start grid, so we'll have to see. I think this actually might have been on Ride 3, so, Ride 4, sorry, so I actually might know the track. So lights on, away we go. It's actually been a good start once the bike hasn't wheel spun loads off the line, which is the first time in a wet race, that's for sure. You have to be careful to hit the brakes nice and early. And we've crashed already into an AI. Oh, are you serious? Well, I was nowhere near the braking zone, so quite why I was going so slow, I don't know. This episode has been absolutely abysmal the entire way through, really. All the races have been wet as well, haven't they? So, yeah, it's not been ideal. Around the outside of someone. Oh, it seems like there's a Nürburgring situation. They all seem to crash around that corner. So I've got my way up into 7th, but we could be 5th shortly. No, I knew I was going to get stuck on the outside then, end up on the grass. But there we go, we're now up into 5th place. Break of that Dunlop board. Oh, that's way too late. That's way too late. I did not know that corner was that tight. That is one of the disadvantages of not knowing the circuit. But, however, actually there was tarmac runoff for me to use. I don't know what place I was in. I think I might have been in 5th. Oh, I've crashed! Oh, are you serious? I was looking at the AI to see when I could rejoin safely in the right position and ended up on the deck. So back down to 9th place again. But this track was not the track I was thinking it was, so yeah, I don't actually know it at all. That's hence why I didn't know that really tight corner was there. I thought, judging by what the AI were doing, it looked like it was a wider turn. That was a good move there, past that rider, although they've got straight back past me. Fortunately, we've got 6 laps on this occasion, so I think that should be enough to actually pick up the track and hopefully maybe fight for a decent position. However, the tyres are looking, well, on the right-hand side it's yellow, so I think I might have maybe done a Zolder again. I really hope not, but it is actually raining this time. It's not just dry track. And oh, everybody's down at the first corner. I've been sucked in with them. And I've ended up down in the gravel, which is definitely worse. So that's unfortunate. Oh, few down there. What's that put me up to now? Back up into 7th place. So not too bad. So we're almost in the position we were on the previous lap, because we were taking 5th around here last time. I've got to remember that this is a super tight hairpin and to brake super early for it. Although if you do misjudge, actually it's not the end of the world. Oh, come on. Why did I crash? Why did I crash? I have no idea why I crashed there. Come on. I want to just be able to fight with the AI at the front again. I'm sorry that I was saying that the AI were too easy in the previous episodes. Please give me some good fortune and, you know, not have the AI kill me and have it so that I don't crash for no reason. See, if I crashed then, I wouldn't have minded because I took way too much speed into that corner, but I didn't. Oh, okay, and that time I did. So I don't understand it. I think, I don't know. I just want to get this race over with. Oh, someone's down. So we're now back up into 9th place. So we're closing up on the person in 8th as well. So this lap has been a lot better. It's got to be said. Through the last turn then. Up the inside. So we're now up into 8th place in the race. And if there's a few more crashes like there is on the every lap, we could still be in the hunt for maybe about 5th. Which wouldn't be too bad actually. I just don't know where to brake for this first corner. That's the problem. I keep either braking way too early, like around there, or way too late and ending up right. I mean, that guy's absolutely flown past me. Oh, if the AI have broke already, then I've definitely misjudged. Yep. Right, I've got it into the gravel. Oh, the gravel slows you down a lot, so yeah, that's put me straight back out of contention of a decent result again, back down to 9th. Oh, that's a shame, because we were making some good progress on that last lap, but yeah, I didn't know where to brake, and then obviously if I'm reacting to the AI, then it's too late, because the AI broke too late for every corner as it is. Oh, here's a few riders down, well, there's 2 anyway, so back up to 8th. Hopefully we'll be able to get back up to 7th here, and now I've been put in a position again where I'm stuck on the outside. It's actually a bit awkward when they respawn there. Oh, there we go. Back up into 7th, although I think I've gone too hot into this corner again. Oh, yep, I have indeed. Oh, I cannot catch a break in this race, honestly. Oh, hello. Someone right at the inside. We should get the switch back on them, hopefully, though. I'm just being so careful on the power, although so are they. So we are back up into 9th again. We've still got 2 more laps yet, so we could still end up in 7th or 6th positions, but I can't see myself getting anything higher than that now. Especially since like the front 3 are already over the line. Oh, come on. It's one of those crashes again where I did nothing wrong and fell off. Right, so we're caught back up to the guy in 9th again. I want to pass him because I don't want 3 last places in one episode. Although I've got in a bit hard. We've got to pick up. No! Oh, come on. I can see what. I know why I crashed that time. That actually makes sense, so I'm not too bothered, but it's just another little mistake. I think we could get 9th though, because I think we gain enough on that guy throughout the lap to still beat him. Oh no, come on. Yeah, the tyres are now totally inappropriate for the conditions because of the wear. So I think we are going to finish 10th, nothing I can do about it. Oh, again, the rears come round at the final turn. Yeah, the tyres are absolutely gone. I don't know whether it was because I picked the wrong tyre that we had such a terrible race, or was it just because I crashed so many times it made the tyre worse. But here we are, then up towards the line. What a miserable episode of career mode this has been. last place in every single race, wet weather in every single race, and just bad luck throughout. We got 800 credits though, so not the end of the world, but I definitely spent more than that on the wet tyres. 3,500 XP is actually not too bad though. I'll take that. So that pretty much brings this episode to a close. I don't really have a lot to add, as you can tell. It wasn't the best episode for me. I wasn't too pleased with any of the results, and just unfortunately we didn't have the luck in the races. We got a lot of bad luck. Obviously we had the thing with the controller in the first race. I know that didn't affect me in the end, but it was just something bad that happened. And then obviously then with that, the AI were brake checking me. We had a lot of bad luck. I'll be honest, the Fuji one, I probably didn't ride too well. I definitely didn't ride too well at the road course, but it's a road course, so I didn't expect to do too well. On Fuji, really, we got a bit unlucky with some of the weird crashes, sort of losing the front for no reason. And then obviously that put me back, so I had to push harder. So I think I get into a bit of a loop with that sometimes, where unfortunately I have to push harder to make up for the mistake that's already happened, or the issue that's already happened, and I end up on the floor again. But either way, hopefully you enjoyed my suffering through that episode, and hopefully the next one will be an improvement. But the first event is a straight course, so yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be too good for me. But hopefully there is some proper tracks later on. Oh, looks like Zolder and Silverstone, so 2 tracks we know pretty well. So yeah, might be a bit of a better episode. But like I said, I hope you did enjoy that one anyway. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Hope you're staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.